Vibranium. They say life is great.
Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of talking about technology. I'm Josh, and I'm joined again with Kynan, Rami, and Tyrone. So today we're going to have another look at technology, but this time we're going to go a bit broader rather than just the workplace. So we're going to look at humanity and society as a whole. And we're just going to have a look at, is technology a threat? Is the growth in technology really a threat to humans and to anyone else, I guess? I guess to kick it off, we'll have a really broad look at this. But I guess the first thing that I want to have a look at is, I guess a pretty obvious one that most people think of is with AI and robots, right? I mean, there's been movies about it in the past. So
Millions, yeah.
yeah, I mean, if you look at things like iRobot, Terminator, there's been plenty out there we just had a look at and I kind of give you a blueprint of what will happen if we over-rely on them, things like giving them consciousness, emotions, things like that, and what happens. So yeah, what do you guys think about that? AI, it's a pretty big topic.
Ultron Force or whatever. Remember from Avengers? I think that's what's going to happen.
Oh, really?
Oh, who knows, man? They might sort of crack onto a formula. It's like, well, humanity are causing the problem. They, they're, what do you call it? They are the ones who created us to solve the issue and to solve, to sort of... Remember how, like, in Ender's Game, it's like you don't want the issue to come again, and then, you want, like, that one final strike.
Finish it off.
Well, we'll just eradicate humans.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's like the sort of
No,
far extreme.
No. Can't you go say something? Yeah, well, if that's the goal, then... Okay, so they have their own consciousness and emotions, air quote. Yeah. Then...
emotion driven by analytics and whatnot.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But, their end...
into it.
Okay. Their end goal is to wipe out humanity, then what...
Not their end goal. Their end goal is to cause peace and harmony, and we are.
Why would they do that? What's the point in peace and harmony? Because they don't need to live. But
that's how we coded them.
Yeah, we create them in order to create order, peace within humanity.
Because we don't want to do that.
Yes, I understand that. But then, what are they going to do after that?
Live in peace.
Yeah,
they live in peace.
They have order
because
order of what? And then they just they don't need to exist after that.
Exactly, and that's why they evolve.
Yeah.
And evolve how? I know there isn't a way that we know so far, but what is your suggestion of what could happen?
They reach the stars. They go to new galaxies. They become immortals.
Transformers?
Yeah, but...
Transformers.
Yes.
Assuming by the time that they can take over humanity, they could probably already go to so many different galaxies, probably anyway, because the technology's that great.
Yep.
What would be the point in them discovering... Right. There's point in us discovering places as living beings. What is the point in them doing it?
So two things, mate.
Harmony and order, I guess.
No.
But it's a kind of saying, what will... is this right? Kind of, you're saying, what would be their purpose of progression, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think I see two things. I see the reason why they would think about eradicating us is we're their creators, so we can be considered. So we can
inferior.
I was going to say we can be considered as a threat because we made them. So they could think these guys have made us, so we got to eradicate these guys if they want to progress. That's the first thing. The other thing I can see is people argue about stupid shit a lot. Like just natural. That's just the way we are. So they might just see you might have a really. Because when you have technology, right, and you're going to program it to do something, if it sees something which it thinks isn't correct, if it sees two people fighting in the street, and you have, say, a police robot, and it shoots them both down, and shit just hits the fan from there, that sort of stuff, those imperfections in us, I think they could try to eradicate them, and then going to the stars and stuff. I just think that could be something.
I totally understand that.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the before thing. They've already eradicated us.
And then after, what they're going to do?
Yeah, what would there be their reason for doing anything after
they probably won't
we're
eradicate
gone?
us. Okay, and maybe that's...
No, I think they would.
I think no, they'll find a way to control us.
But how they know? I don't think so.
That's
too
pointless
threatening.
too. I think that's pointless too. What control us and then what?
No, they will go after. If I am a robot, if I'm a robot who's not subject to needing oxygen, unless
or food,
anything. My objective, if I'm smart enough to think like a human from the sense that the universe is so big, if I can understand that, then my goal as a technological developed specimen will be to go as far as I can to the ends of the universe. See, that's such a thing. I think they do something like that. They try to expand out.
Yeah, okay. So You think they're going to want to reproduce like us? And I don't mean in the same way. I just mean make more of them, like many, many more of them. They want to make.
I think they would. I mean, you do have to remember, right? Okay, this is an assumption in that regard. If they get to the stage where they want to eradicate us and they move to, I guess, getting rid of us as a whole, you assume they have a level of consciousness, right? And they have a level of moral and ethics. So they're able to make a conscious decision. So whatever they decide is right for them moving forward to betterment or for the betterment of their society per se, then I think they'll do that. So if that's going out and developing new things, obviously they'll want to create more of them, right? Because as they get older, or they'll make more efficient ways.
Do they get older? That's like, can you just replace a whole part of them?
Maybe. Or maybe they'll just find better features and upgrade themselves. Right?
Yeah, they can upgrade themselves. Yeah,
because they could be immortals, right?
Technically, yeah.
Yeah, or they put themselves into a better vessel. Kind of thing, a stronger, more
upload themselves into a better machine.
Also, do have to remember one thing, right? If they are based off humans, right? Because we built them, right? So a lot of what they do is based off us, right? We end up hurting, killing each other, whatever that is, doing things against each other. They might do the same thing. If they have their consciousness based off us, what's the guarantee they won't do that? They won't have people opposing other people because people have opposing opinions and values.
It depends, I think, on the reason why we build them. If we build them to replicate us, I agree, Josh. But if we build, say, a robot to be... So, if there's a problem and to get the most ethically correct answer, and the way it gets this through algorithms and calculations and stuff, then I don't think it'd be like that. Then it'd be just like, okay, if I have to kill one person to save 3, I'm going to kill one person as opposed to save all 4. That
statistically
sort of
driven.
Yes. So I think it would depend on what the robot is built for.
I think that's a good point that you bring up there, right? Because if you first thing you have to look up then when you bring up that sort of thing is ethics, right? In terms of your moral ethics. What type of ethics are you going to take? Is it utilitarianism or not? Do you know what I mean?
Kantian.
Like, and you know what I mean? Like, it's the classic.
Is that the greater good one? Kantian?
I think utilitarianism is the greater. That's greater good. I think Kantian.
The whole classic, like, there's a train going and it won't stop. Like, it's your family member or like 20 people. Which one are you going to pick? Do you know what I mean?
Good,
yeah. So
see, that's interesting. Like, what would a robot do? They obviously
but then they'll
kill the one person.
Say,
well, they don't have a family member, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, but like,
it's just all statistics.
But you'd like to think so, right?
It's like actually a good point.
But then if it's a robot, another robot,
exactly, that's the thing.
But
versus people.
That's why I said it depends on how we built it, how humans built it.
I guess we can only go off what we've seen in movies at this point and make assumptions based on that because we have nothing else to go off at that point.
Yeah,
you know what
and there's always going to be that one guy who's going to create a robot too human-like. Do you know what I mean? And that's the one that's going to mess it up everyone.
Yeah, it's like mess up everybody. Even like you look at like Elon Musk is showing he's pretty looks like this guy's a genius. He's rich, and even him. You look at him and what he's been saying. He himself he's hesitant.
Yeah, he said in the Joe Rogan podcast, he was just like, you should be scared. I'm scared. Like he's telling everyone, don't do AI. Don't.
Well, at least if you're not good, even if you're gonna do AI, I think you need a governance system on the right now. Because if you implement later when they're already made, what's so good then? If you have something now with like bodies overviewing technology, like technology I think right now needs to be regulated.
Yeah.
Yeah? It needs to be audited, it needs to be regulated so we know what's happening, how it's happening.
100%. If you take some sort of, I guess, I mean, I don't know if control is the right word, but like as you're saying, some governance over that. I mean, we always have to think about the fact that let's go back to Elon Musk as the example here, right? Somebody, as you said, who's very intelligent, he's really up there with technology, he knows what's up, sort of thing. If he's telling us no, you've got to look at why he's telling us no compared to the people who are saying yes. Do you know what I mean? Like, have a look at why, because clearly there's something there. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, he's not going to say no for no reason. And he knows more than we do. And
should you be making a fail-safe on this like AI, and is that possible?
I think that's a good question, kind of. I think if they can, they should do that.
Yeah.
Future robot makers, listen to this podcast.
Right? Because having a button that can turn them all off if they're like losing their shit is really important.
Yeah, but the thing is, if these are intelligent AI, like intelligent enough to do the things that we want them to do, not that they can turn it off, but that they can change that switch so that fail-safe might...
Fail?
Not fail, but turn something else off or have an effect on something else.
Okay. Then let's flip this a little. Let's make it a little more interesting here. Right? Here's what I've got for you. So we have talked this far about talking about just a robot, right? It's just a robot that we create. It's just software, hardware, mechanics. That's it, right? What about if it has a human element to it. So there's been a concept going around of uploading your consciousness up into the cloud, right? So what if you do that, or you upload it to a robot? Because there are going to be people out there who want to like, oh, my body's getting 90, 100 years old, it's failing now, but they still want to live on, and they still want to do all these things, you know what I mean? They might upload, if they have the technology, I'm sure there will be people out there who want to upload themselves or their conscious mind into a robot and continue then. What then? Because that changes things. You know what I mean? That makes them superior to other humans that do exist. And then you can't just create a failsafe on them, can you? Is that morally and ethically correct?
I think it depends on two things, mate. One thing is, if technology is progressing that fast, why can't we create body parts on an existing body, like to maintain an existing body, or if not, slow down the aging process or reverse? Like, you know what I'm saying? There's technology going that way. I'm sure there's technology in other avenues as well.
Why bother doing that if you can do the part where you can put yourself in a robot, which it has a lot less weaknesses?
The issue I have with this is a personal issue, and you three might have different views, but the issue I have with that is if you upload yourself onto a robot or onto the cloud, then you are in a virtual system or a computerized system which you don't know if it can be taken over, and you lose control of yourself.
100%, I agree.
Yeah. So that's the issue I see. At least with this currently flawed system, it's flawed. Like, you know, this is flawed differently. This is flawed in the sense that we can't run like 60 k's an hour, right? But the other body could. But the reverse of it is the other body could be taken over potentially, as far as we know. But this one you don't think can.
You'd probably assume that at that stage they'd have, I guess, what would say a higher level of cyber security per se, right? Like, you'd only do that if you have a sense of the protection or security of your body, right? If you upload yourself to a robot, you'd like to think that that person would be smart enough or have the...
But we put all of our information that we don't want seen by anyone else onto our computers and phones and stuff too, yet that can still be hacked. So it's kind of the same thing. Like, we think, oh, it's never going to happen to us, but it does happen to people.
Yes,
so it can be the same situation further in the future with this same thing.
Like that census. Yeah. Remember I got hacked?
Yeah, they don't do it to get hacked, but it did get hacked.
At government level, like, I have an issue. I think, like, when we think about technology, it is great, but I think in terms of, like, if you're trying to, it's like breaking into somewhere. Like, you can have all these different protection things and stuff to stop people from breaking in, but there's always going to be some really smart dude who doesn't work for the government, or, you know, an evil genius who's going to be like, you know what, I'm going to teach these guys a lesson. And imagine that. Imagine there's a 90% of the world's population, throwing out a number, 90% of the world's population is either on the cloud or in a robot, and someone says, if I take control of this system, the whole world is my army.
But why does it have to be on a network, like in a cloud? So if you just transfer each person's consciousness or mind into a robotic vessel, blah blah blah, then it can't be hacked unless you're physically hacking that vessel. Like, you would literally have to plug into whatever port it has.
You're saying independent of each other?
So yeah, everything's independent, and you can only upload yourself into another vessel, and that vessel can only upload that consciousness into another one via an actual connection, not a wireless one kind of thing, because it's not on a network, and that's the only way it can be hacked. And then you don't have that problem of, hacking through a network.
Okay, see, I understand the point that you're making. If you make it as an independent, like just within the local area, right? Or not even just upload to network, you are just you yourself, right? But then I think about how technology is currently moving within society. So I don't know if you guys know, but it's actually being tested right now. I've seen reports that are happening in Australia about a chip that people are inserting into their arms and things like that, which they are controlling doors and into, playing for the cards, and everything is in that one
go
chip.
Cards in it and stuff.
Exactly. So if that is happening right now, would you not assume that by the time you get to that level, everything is connected by everything anyway? I mean, think about everything in our day-to-day lives right now. We are connected to everything. So you can access, a lot of people can access everything about their lives just from a mobile device. Now, if you think about like smartwatches, even just a watch, which is just a very simple concept, you can access everything from there, right?
But it's only if it's connected to that network, though.
So you guys see a theme here, everything's connected to everything?
That's what I was going to say.
But it doesn't have to be connected.
But if it's not connected, then it makes that smart device redundant, doesn't it?
Does it?
Because when we put this, if you have a smartphone that's not connected to a network, then it's pretty rubbish, isn't it? Unless you can throw someone.
No, but if it's to the
They
point...
would call that a weapon.
That is a real weapon.
If it's to the point where it's keeping your consciousness alive, then that is the literal point.
Look, I think if Kynan's idea, if that was the idea put forward, and there was 100% guarantee, and nothing's 100% guarantee, so that's how far I am on the other side.
The drawback to it is that you can't learn from the internet. Like, you think about, if you're connected to the internet and you're in a robot, then you can literally just get any kind of information within... instantly.
Yeah, Google it, man.
But you're not even Googling it because it's literally your brain is the internet.
Well,
but if you're not connected to that network, then you can't do that. You're literally just still kind of like a human consciousness.
Which is fine. You jump on a computer and you can type your shit in.
But that's still like a lower level of technology kind of thing. Like that's very much slow, and we're trying to get past that. So I'm kind of going against what I'm saying as like not being connected to a network.
I'd rather not be connected. If it was your option versus the far-fetched
it's
that one,
safer way, but it's also
it's still improvement on our current body.
Improvement on our current body because we don't have the deterioration and stuff,
aging,
and we can just put ourselves into another vessel once that one is obsolete. I'm not
joking.
taking a side.
I'm just joking.
But
this is the whole. This is. I'm just saying that from like a whole, the religious point of view, where it says, let God do what God does and take you when you're ready, sort of thing. But that's just
I think.
But could we not be pointed in that direction? Oh, we're not trying to play God. Are we?
Are you? Aren't you?
You are if you're creating.
Aren't you? Yeah, I'm saying.
Are we though? Because could he not be pushing us in that direction? Could we not be created in the whole first place when we started to get to that point?
I reserve the right to comment.
I'm going to say... that's interesting.
I'm sorry. My knowledge level is just like... You've surpassed it. I need my priest with me. Abuna David, if you're listening.
No, it's literally your own opinions and beliefs.
It's your own opinions and beliefs. I think, look, going back... Well, I just wanted to first touch on the comment Josh made, because I thought it was quite interesting. Would you get chipped?
Would I? Oh, hell no.
Tyrone, would you get chipped?
No, because there's specific mentions of the Bible.
Yeah, 100%.
Kynan, would you get chipped?
No, I wouldn't, no.
Okay, nor would I. Well, I think we all got different reasons. The issue I have with the chip is
It's not efficient enough, no jokes.
Well, what's wrong with carrying a wallet?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it is less efficient. But
no, it is less efficient.
But I agree too.
You're right. It's not.
Who cares that it's less efficient?
You're not carrying 40 kilos on your back, are you?
Yeah.
Back in my day.
Yeah, that's right.
When I was a boy.
Like, you can have like the key card or a debit card with a chip in it to pay wave, and anyone can use that, but I don't have one. I rather swipe it and put my pin in.
You have a chip?
Less. No, I don't.
No,
and that's less efficient, but I do it that way, and it's safer. And
Good
I
on you.
prefer that.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's safer.
I think going on to swiping and I guess slightly moving on from the whole chip in the hand, but like chip in the card, right? That's where we're first. Think about NFC. So if you guys don't know what NFC is basically called near field communication, right? So it's basically where if you put two devices or two with the same chips or similar chips that are compatible, you can actually transfer data from one to another, like one device to another. So a lot of phones, smartphones these days do already have that. So if you put, like, let's say you have an old phone and you want to transfer data to a new phone, you just put your old phone next to a new phone and you can just transfer a lot of the data settings, things like that over to the new one. That's basically base concept. Same thing as your PayPass, Apple Pay, everything like that, right? Mm-hmm. So using all those things, that can potentially be a huge security breach, right? Mm-hmm. So think about this way, Rami, right? If I'm walking past you, right, and I have the technology in my pocket, right, where I can get into you through NFC, right? So you just have NFC, you think, oh yeah, I'm good. I walk into you, I bump into you, right? So our phones like connect next to each other, sort of thing. I can just take your data off there, right? You know what I mean? Because there's probably lots of different ways that like they could improve this technology or even eventually do it, right? Do you know what I mean? That's a huge security threat, is that not?
Yeah, well, that's the issue I had about that. When you upload yourself onto the cloud, is this not security? I don't think so.
That's the thing, right? We do it for the whole aspect of, are we able to do this? It's easier. It's I guess a good way for us to live life. It's a lot easier. Everything's connected, but there's a huge security aspect to that, right? Because I think the biggest aspect we all, I guess, will agree with here with the advancements in technology is the security risk. Is this safe? are we protected? Is our data protected? You know what I mean? That's the biggest concern here.
Yeah, I think the way that technology is progressing, the security for it isn't progressing as fast as the technology is, which is what you're trying to, or not saying, but you have that worry that it could be happening.
I think so.
And
and you know,
it's probably true.
Going off that same theme, if you're talking about security and stuff and your regulation, law is so far behind technology in so many aspects. Not funny.
Totally true. Yeah.
Right. So then you got one thing having the actual capability of being able to implement cybersecurity. Another thing, having the laws developed and covering those gaps, right? You could have someone do something which is morally dodgy, but the law hasn't caught up, and then it develops a grey area.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that at the same time, right, and that this is building on that issue, right? So the advancement of technology is exponential. We talked in the previous podcast that it has slowed down a little bit, but even then, right, the rate at which technology expands and grows is exponential compared to the process that it takes for a law to be created and built and implemented, right? So that alone creates a huge issue because there's no limit to technology. There's no limit to the growth of technology, but the growth and implementation of law is limited by the steps that it takes to put a law in place, right? So that itself is creating a bigger issue for us. And as we build into the future, I think about it this way, right? Even within today's society, right? There's a lot of old school applications, but with technology, we already have an over-reliance of technology. Think about how many people these days, right? If your network goes down, if your Wi-Fi goes down, right? They look at their phones and they're like, what do I do? I can't do anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, go back to the old factor, right? When people used to go to the bathroom and use the toilet, you take the newspaper, you read a book, do you know what I mean?
Sometimes when you run out of toilet paper, you use the paper to...
I mean, like, at the end of the day, like, the amount of times that you read the back of the air freshener, you know what I mean? You used to know all the ingredients going on through there.
I never did that.
Oh, really?
Hydrochloric acid. I never knew that.
No, I was on the book saying that just tricking, just stupid, just annoying, those bad boys.
Yes. Good times. But now everyone takes their devices, right? Let's say you don't have a network connection. What do you do?
Put it so my
call niggas, not joke.
On the toilet.
Hey, on the toilet. So what are you doing, mate? Is that a toilet? Are you flushing?
Nah, mate. I tell you, like, I don't. So my grandparents live on a farm in northern New South Wales, and over there, because they live, it's not a valley, but it's off the main road, and you can lose range, and when that happens, you know, you got to rely on, you just don't, you know, you do notice it for a little bit. You do notice that it's not there. Like, you're like, oh shit, I got no Facebook, I got no YouTube, but then you just do another thing. You just do something else. It's up.
So you quickly adapt.
Like, there's still TV, there's still movies. You go out in the country, guys, I can know that's not a complete hippie, but like when you go out into the night sky in the country, the amount of stars you see. Oh my goodness, mate.
Same thing when I went back to Africa to my auntie's farm. Yeah.
Same thing, eh?
Right.
No light pollution.
Sorry?
No light pollution.
Well, there's no lights, mate.
But okay, you know, so I think what we've sort of done is we haven't bagged technology yet, but we have definitely given a bit of a bad name so far. Yeah, I think there are other sides to it too. Like, if it's used properly, like, I mean, put it this way,
it can save lives.
It can save lives. We wouldn't be podcasting if we didn't have technology.
No,
right?
exactly. And you know, I'll use an example of technology being, you know, effective in my life in terms of the medicinal effect. No, I don't think that's the right word.
That's the right word.
Is that the right word? I don't know. I don't think it's the right word. I think in terms of the advancements in terms of the surgeries that they do. The first heart surgery that I did was on my back. They cut up like nearly half my lat. Like, you guys know, my left latissimus muscle is not the strongest, so you know, I'm always sort of, you know, swaying
compensating
to one
and
side.
stuff.
I'm always doing sort of the lateral? Unilateral.
Lat pull downs. Are you talking?
No, but like when you only do like one side of the.
Oh yeah, unilateral.
Unilateral exercises is what I'm always trying to do to sort of even that up. It's never going to be evened up because it's cut. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was cut when I was in year 3. Now when I was in year 5, they not invented, but they started doing keyhole surgery.
Yeah.
And they went through sort of like my bottom right thigh. They entered through there and then went right to my heart.
Really?
Put the coil in, and then they shut off the hole. That was the deoxygenated blood. You know what I mean? So 2 differences there. You know, if I'd have just waited Or,
2 years or whatever. Yeah.
But I would have died by then because the way my heart was sort of going, wasn't going to go for very much longer. Or else, you know what I mean, with that valve being not closed. All of you guys have that valve closed, but I was born with it open.
Right.
Yeah.
So just advancements in terms of surgical equipments. Technology definitely has definitely played a role in my life. And another example. I know I don't mean to be sort of rude or whatever. No, not rude, but circumcisions, right? Back in the day, you get a razor, and then that's it, right? Now, circumcisions have sort of become really clean, and it's like a walk in, walk out, and you recover within a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's apparently the way I won't go into details of it, but it's much more more easier to recover from. You know what I mean? Less complications. But again, how did they afford it? Because of the technology. You know what I mean?
Kind of. You might, because this is, I've always you're the most qualified to comment this sort of stuff. With organs and stuff like that, where's technology taken that in terms of you have a damaged organ and being able to have another one produced synthetically or have it recovered? Do you know anything like that or seen anything like that from technology?
No, you can't recover or create your own organs. Yes, they're trying and they're growing them.
That stem cell thing,
Yeah, there's the stem cell stuff, and they do use stem cells for a lot of recovery treatments for
ACLs?
Any kind of muscular damage, and all different kind of things. But when it comes to actually growing a synthetic organ, they are trying. They're growing probably people have seen they grow ears and stuff on rats, on the back of rats, and then they want to be able to take that ear off the rat and then put it on a human and that kind of thing. And
that's weird.
Where it's so far away from
do you guys hear that?
Still, but they are trying.
How long, in your just your opinion, but how long do you think they are away? Is it very far? Or is it
I don't think
closer?
it's in our lifetimes.
Okay, so it's quite far.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn it! I always wanted to live forever.
So that's interesting. I guess a lot of it seems like the benefits or the drawbacks of technology are largely contingent on how ethical the people operating them or developing them are.
But I think the more we sort of progress with, in our lifetime, the more I see. There was something I've observed. People have not come to terms with death.
Because you see less death, man.
Yeah.
Because back before, again, this is what I've read and heard. I assume back in the day when they had more wars and more tribal stuff, people just died. It was a bit more of a normal. Animals attacked or whatever.
It was a bit of animals attacked, but with the war and stuff, there was honor.
Yeah, yeah. These days,
now
it's not.
More,
it's different.
Yeah.
Your priorities are different, right?
Correct. And so, whether they haven't accepted death or the fact that death is a part of life, and I'm sorry to sort of take this on a
no, that's fine.
A very deep dark left turn, but I think that's more of a fact that they just haven't accepted death as being a part of life, whether it's because the way they were raised up or whether that's how society has us conditioned.
I think society as a whole is kind of trying to eradicate death.
Yeah,
isn't it?
They're shielding each other. If you think about it, right? Because going back to things like war and stuff like that, death was so commonly seen, but there were a lot of drawbacks to that, such as depressions and other sides of suicide from mental health issues and things like that. And they've tried to I guess in a way to try and help people or heal people in a way, they've kind of shielded that and covered up death, and it's a lot more of a private thing as opposed to a thing that we see daily. But at the same time, that poses the question: is that worse? I mean, does that mean in the end it'll affect us more? Because if you saw death more commonly, if there was somebody that might be closer to you that died, it wouldn't hit you as hard, right? Theoretically, it wouldn't, because you've seen a lot of death around you. You know what I mean? You kind of become more accustomed to that. So by shielding that, are we making ourselves weaker?
Well, don't military army officers, a lot of them come back with mental issues because they see a lot of
PTSD and stuff. You mean?
Yeah. But then again, you see doctors, I guess, who see it as well. So I don't know. Well, I can't comment. I've never seen anyone die in front of me. So.
Mate, I went to a couple of funerals in my day, and anytime they're when they open the casket, it's you want to see your final guys? I'm nah, nigga, I'm fine. I'll be right here. I'll be right here. I just get iffy with
Make a force field around it.
You know what I mean? But I know one day, that's I can't avoid that because mum and dad. It's gonna get again. I'm taking it down freaking left corner with a dark look right now. But I can't avoid that, and the more I guess people can accept death, I guess, the fact that it's being a part of life, I think the more we can progress past where we are right now, and we can sort of transcend.
So I guess bringing that back to the technology aspect of that, do you think that technology will make that an easier process or a harder process in terms of accepting death? Sorry. Or do you think technology will aid that or make it worse? What do you guys think?
I think it'll make it worse because there'll be that expectation that technology is doing this and this. I should be living for X amount of years longer.
Or it could be a flip. If technology, I think technology. I don't know if it'll make you immortal, but I think it'll definitely increase your lifespan.
Yeah,
and if
X amount of years longer.
Yeah, so if it increases your lifespan, maybe it could be such that people get to the point like, well, I'm sort of bored of this now.
Yeah.
Well, because you're gonna see a lot of your friends die off.
Well, even if I mean, you can only have so.
Cancer's a bitch. Cancer's a bitch, and especially in this day and age.
Yeah, I know that.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm just seeing the effects of it on my mum, who's supposed to be, the best case scenario. I'm just like, mate. I don't feel that's the best case scenario.
If you think of technology, but I mean, like, if say you have a person that's living to, I'm gonna throw a random number out there, 300, say, right? Then you're gonna say all their friends probably gonna live at a similar age because the technology's progressed that far. Yeah. So you're not going to necessarily see all your friends die at that point. No, what the angle I'm coming from is, with technology, it sort of depends on if you live to such a older age that you sort of get used to, if generally people get used to things, they get bored, you'll be like, oh well, this person in my family died 275 years ago, and you get to that, you know what I mean, and you sort of get a bit bored. Maybe technology can do that too. Like, it could maybe go flip it the other way.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out.
I think to build on that, though, right? We talk about how so Tyrone, you mentioned how technology will push us away from accepting death, right? But at the same time, what if they find a way? I'm not sure how, but what if they find a way to help us accept death, right? We need to.
There's got to be a cost, mate. To accept death.
Yeah.
Okay.
It might prepare us way.
You have to judge people up.
I don't know.
Do you mean talking to people in the afterlife? Is that
that would be hectic.
That would be hectic.
But then you got to assume there's an afterlife, though. That's the assumption you make.
Well, yeah, that's based on your religion.
Okay, so does consciousness end? Like, that's such a broad topic that we can't really go onto right now.
Let's have a podcast on this philosophy, consciousness, death stuff.
Because probably not do it at night time.
Because,
let's do it at night time.
No, stop you.
No, we're doing it at night time.
Science says that
I will come into the podcast, but I'll be from a remote location at my house.
Doesn't change the time of the podcast, man.
Yeah, but I'm at home.
I've got your armed and prepared.
Tyrone will be in a room with fully lit up with his Bible in his hand. Let's go. I'm ready.
Holy water.
I'm ready.
Right next to me, he's like, Buddha, I'm paying here.
I'm paying here.
Yeah, science says that matter can't be created nor destroyed, right? It can only be transformed and altered into different forms.
Yes.
So is consciousness the same? Does it just, begin...
Technology has
continue,
to
end?
I think for us to know technology, have to find consciousness.
So consciousness isn't completely defined, you're saying?
Yeah, correct. You know what it is, and then you actually find it where it is. And once you've got that sorted out, probably answer your question.
Yeah.
I don't know if technology is going that way. Do you know, is technology looking for anything like that? Is it looking for...
I don't think it's more technology. I think it's more when you go down that, that out-of-body experience.
But even...
What's it called?
Well, astral projection.
Astral projection.
But no, I disagree, man, because there were Russian scientists, what they did, and they found that it was false. They found bodies, dead people died just before they died and after they died. Their body weight reduced by this similar amount of grams, but I think someone debunked it saying it was something else. But there is scientists trying to look for it.
Yeah.
Scientists trying to look for it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. I don't know if it's actually found anything.
I guess there's a part in between where that might be possible. So if you think about, as we talked about uploading the consciousness, right? Mm-hmm. If they find out how to do that, when you die from your body, if you can find a way to communicate with your consciousness, right, whether it be through a robot or something else like that, that's kind of it's not the same, but it's almost like
pretty much there.
Yeah, it's like some form of afterlife anyway, because technically their body is dead, right?
Yeah.
But they're still conscious. So it's like, oh hey, I died, but you can still talk to me because I've uploaded my consciousness to the cloud. You know what I mean? So
that's true. Yeah, it's an interesting one.
That's an ethical dilemma for me.
Well, would you? Okay,
Yeah, of course.
If let's put light spin on this. If you guys say society, you're going to upload yourself onto a virtual reality life. What would be your ideal life? This is completely open. You're going to be like, all right.
So you're creating your own heaven. You're saying.
Yeah, sort of. You can do whatever.
That's where my ethical dilemma is. Like,
You can do whatever you can do whatever you want. You can be a full-time free FIFA player, right? You could play, I don't know, whatever game. So what would be your ideal world on a virtual reality platform?
No.
Okay, this is real questions.
These are big questions for us, put out there.
Well, it's not.
I
I don't open it
What
right
time
now.
is
Would
it?
anyone choose
On a Monday
this?
night,
Yeah.
8:15 p.m. What type of heaven you want for yourself?
Well,
Man, this is tough.
It's not because like if people do start uploading themselves onto a VR or something, and like VR is a thing now. Like VR is a thing.
Bro, they got like a lot of shit on VR. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. All right. If that's too deep and ethical for you guys or philosophical, let's say you're uploading yourself to consciousness. You got VR goggles put on. What's your ideal world look like?
Ideal world.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna have to think about it, mate.
Okay, so
give me a couple minutes.
Tyron's thinking about you. When are you still gonna kick things off?
I think for me, I would want to be, as cheesy as this may sound, as cliche as this may sound, wherever God is. You know what I mean? Like with Jesus. Like that's where I would want to be. I mean, like for me as a believer, you know what I mean? I would like to, like for me, afterlife or heaven per se is wherever Jesus is.
I mean, I don't mean like what's the afterlife. I mean like you play games on Xbox, Sony, whatever, right?
Yeah.
They create virtual reality for you when you're playing them.
So I'm in a game.
Well, you're playing it. Dude. Okay, when you're playing a game, what are you doing? You're concentrating on the screen, right?
Yeah,
you're consumed by it.
You're disregarding the afterlife part of it. You're just saying what would you do now?
What would you do? I'm not being any philosophical. Guys. I'm
it's like
open
Sims.
I've never
Kind of
played
like,
Sims.
yes,
I don't
yes.
know. I've never played Sims.
But you know, Sims you actually start.
Okay, let me give you guys an answer because I think just to say if I could put on virtual reality goggles and have the type of world I want to live in for the next 24 hours, 40 hours, whatever, I reckon it'd be the warm weather during the day, cold weather during the night, on the beach. You give me those things, I'm done. That's simple as has to be.
Addis Ababa.
Huh?
Like Ethiopia, it's like that.
Oh, okay, I never been to
Warm
Ethiopia.
in the mornings and afternoons.
Yep. Cold at night?
It's cold. Beach. I don't know about the beach. We do have a beach, but it's like it's not a beach.
It's
like, you know what I mean,
like Brisbane, the Brisbane coastline, Blockbuster, North Stradbroke, that sort of thing. Like
yeah, it's like a South Bank thing.
South Bank, okay.
Yeah. Well, it's not as small as South Bank. It's quite big.
Yeah,
okay.
obviously, but I know what you mean.
Yeah. So like, go there if you want.
That'd be pretty ideal for me because I'm like a bit of a weatherman. Like if the weather's good, I'm good.
I'm good.
But I mean, not if I'm at work. If I'm at work, I need the weather to be shit.
Yeah, because you don't want other people to enjoy it.
Yeah, and your leave suck shit.
Wait, bro, I was on your leave today, bro.
Yeah, but you're sick leave. So you guys, virtual reality goggles.
Okay, yeah. Well, if I could be in any kind of virtual reality,
I wouldn't have the biggest smile.
I think I know what he's going to say.
I would.
I'll be with Steven Gerrard.
Yeah, no. I would want it to be as far from life as possible because I can just come back to that life. So, like what you described, if I really wanted that, I know it does cost money, but I can make that a reality. Like,
okay,
sure, go to Surface or just anywhere in the world.
Answer.
That is a literal place that you have described. Whereas if it was me, my virtual reality would be like something like from an actual like movie or gaming scene. Like, I love Star Wars and put myself into like the Star Wars world. Like, yeah, people, die and stuff and it's all about fighting that. But this is virtual reality, so it doesn't really matter. You're not feeling the pain. It's just...
Go school the Sith, mate.
It's virtual.
Yeah.
But, or like, something like in the Middle Ages and experience that. Because I know that I can come back from that. I'm not actually experiencing that. And it would kind of suck to go back to them because we know how hard those times were. But we're not staying there. We're coming back out of it. So, yeah, I would choose to live in something like that.
I'll have to ask you guys a question after you other two used to done that because I got another good question.
Mate, for me, it would probably have to... I was tossing up with so many different scenarios.
Yeah.
But the one that sort of... it just has to be... It just keeps reoccurring to me. It was just... It just has to be one where my mum and dad are sort of really taken care of, and I haven't got to that point yet.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's for me.
Cool.
Like, where my mum and dad are like doing whatever, because they're on the verge of it, but you know, war and stuff sort of got in the way of that, and so for me, it's more, you know, as long as they're sort of they're good, I'm like, well, then finally I can start living for myself. That's
your perfect VR thing.
It's like, okay, cool. They've got their thing.
You can look after yourself now.
Yeah. Passive income. It's such an accountant thing.
You're dude. Accounting is your thing, right? No doubt about that.
No, I don't know. But that's just
okay. So that's yours.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think. See, here's the thing. I was thinking about this the entire time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing that I thought of is when Kynan was mentioning about his was. It came back to what I thought of in psychology, right? And about dream and dream analysis, right? This VR is essentially creating a dream. So what then is your point of dreaming if you're creating your own dream? And then at what point does this technology through VR, when your dream becomes your reality and you can't distinguish between the two, so you get stuck in the VR?
No,
I do understand it's a hypothetical question, but I put that out there for the future as well.
Yeah, no, that I think that question, like, I think unless I interpreted early questions incorrectly, I thought we were sort of hitting that sort of stuff when we were talking about playing yourself under consciousness. That's why I tend to see on the VR way, where you got pure control. What's your perfect world?
Yeah, you can take the goggles off.
Yeah,
you've literally got perfect control.
Why would you?
Why would you?
So you're saying
you
the life you got now is perfect 300%? You wouldn't change a single thing?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, see, the point is you make is you have control. You can take the goggles off. My question is, why would you?
Because it's virtual. You still have to eat, drink. You still have to communicate with people.
Okay, let me tell you.
If you're talking about it psychologically.
If you had goggles on to make your perfect world forever and ever and ever, right? Then it becomes too easy and it becomes boring. What's the point then?
Well, you can't. Like you
no,
can't
I'm just saying.
Just
like Josh's question. Okay. That's my angle to it. That's why I think if you could take 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, whatever, a year, just a portion of your life, and you could live. It will be a perfect world using technology.
Yeah. See, sorry. Just to go back to what you're saying, right? It becomes boring, right? But that also depends on what you consider your virtual reality, right? And what you put in it, right? So for you, it's like you're on a beach with the weather being really good, right? You're not doing a whole lot. But then you take Tyrone's perspective of it, right? It's his ideal life per se. Where his family is at a space where they're comfortable and they have income generating. That's what he aims to achieve, right?
Yeah.
So he can then build on that in his virtual reality anyway.
But this isn't his actual family, and he wants to be with his actual family. He realizes that this is not his actual family, so he doesn't want to stay with his fake family. It's just whatever you can see. It's like watching TV, mate. What do you see on TV? It's like you're seeing yourself on TV. That's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying some people might be okay with that.
Like, well, what are you okay with?
I honestly don't.
I
don't have it.
Okay, so here's a time by time. That's what you're saying.
I just think I'm too
waffle, mate. Waffle.
Yeah,
I'm too realistic of a person.
Bacon and eggs with that waffle.
So.
Like, I think I'm just too realistic of a person in my mindset. As in, like, I like to keep myself grounded where I am, per se. So, like, I don't think about another reality because that might take me away from what I aim to achieve or what I want to move towards, right?
Could motivate you, though, mate.
I agree at the same time, right? Yeah. And I do understand it's just a hypothetical, but I couldn't think of anything. I'm just like, I'm not saying my life is perfect, but I think I've just come to terms with this isn't my life and I'm okay with this.
Okay.
Have you guys seen Avengers? The latest Avengers?
Yes. The one where half of them die, right?
Yeah.
What happened?
Okay.
The one where half of them die.
Spoiler alert, just anybody else.
Oh, yeah, I saw the ending. I was like, no, I'm not watching that.
Why the heck?
I'm not ready for a heartbreak, bro.
No, why they kill off Black Panther? Seriously.
You just ruined it for them, fam.
Yeah.
Nah.
Sorry, peeps.
Anyway, so in that movie, what's his name? Doctor Strange can see
the possibilities.
Every possibility that can possibly happen.
You could one he had that they could win.
Yeah, with one. But anyway, you could do that in this virtual reality that you're talking about. If you can create your own virtual reality, you could live through every possibility of a certain scenario in your life or your whole life, whatever, it doesn't matter. And you could play out every single one, and then you could live that part of your life for real in the one scenario that you wanted it to get that outcome.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're basically going to see what the outcomes were, and whatever the good one is, you just make them real life, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
That's called
It's called cheating.
Smart.
It's called cheating.
It's called cheating.
That's
cheat codes.
See in the future.
Yeah.
Time traveler.
Yeah.
Well, actually, when I said earlier I was going to ask you guys another question, that was exactly going to... I was going to hit time traveling.
Oh, there you go.
So
come into it.
Great segue. So,
Last thing to talk about today.
What I was going to ask you guys is, what do you guys think of the possibility of time traveling in your opinion? And if you could go back or forth, only one or the other, which one would you go?
Backward, 100%.
Well, okay. First question was, do you guys, from what you guys have seen, because we've all read and heard different things here. We've sort of researched technology. What's your opinions in terms of, do you guys, from what you guys know, is time travel something you see which can happen, or even in our lifetimes, or even at all?
Oh, if you just add the word quantum in front of everything, it makes it legit, right? No.
I don't know, man. I'm not a physicist.
No, I think. Sorry, what was your question?
Do you think time travel is practical? Will it happen? And and then after that, would you go back or forth? And you, Tyrone and Jashil, both said back.
Practically, that's rough. I mean, if you think about the way that they've described technology in movies, which is always considered like fictional, but then throughout, like, it gives them like something they work towards. If they can find the technology to do that, 100% is practical.
Wasn't the telephone or something like that invented because of like Star Trek?
Really?
I think so. I think my English teacher was telling me about that. Somebody Google that. Like Jashir's just going to get on the laptop. Sorry, audience, you're just going to hear a typing. Okay, no, Ramey's going to do it? Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, that's what I heard. I don't know, I might be wrong.
Who knows? I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If I'm wrong, year 10 teacher, you know who you are, you told me this. You lying.
Okay, and you choose past why. Okay, we'll go. Okay, Tyrone first. Go.
Alright, why pass?
Just quickly.
Well, so I can invest I can go to the bank, get a loan, and invest in like Facebook before it became popular.
Okay.
And then it'll give me and then it'll give me my reality, my dream reality of being my financial.
But I could do the same thing. So I think going to the future. Okay, I could choose either one, like depending on what I would do in the future and what I'd do in the past. So if it was future, I could just go forward in time, see the outcome of something. So like, like a betting on a sporting event, say, and then I'll just go back and then put as much money as I can on that, and then
become a baller.
Yeah, exactly. But then
everything. If you go forward.
If I go forward, I see the outcome of something, and then I'll go back to.
But no. You said you're gonna either go forward or backwards.
No, but I'm going back.
But when you go forwards, what do you do when you're
Okay, wherever you go. Okay, let me simplify the question. No, you can come back. Wherever you go, you come back.
Well, then forward, and then back.
Okay.
So then
I still go backwards.
But the thing is, say if you were like, in my case, betting on the sporting event or whatever, then every action causes a reaction, right?
That was my point.
So the way that we're doing it, okay, I might not bet on whatever game that there is tomorrow, and then the team that I would have bet on won. But if I put that money on that team, then that might have caused the reaction for them to lose, even though they're not directly related or changing each other.
Like a domino effect.
It's still an action that can cause a different reaction.
Josh?
I think that's the point that I was going to make, as into, if you can go and see in your reality and things that will happen, you may change the course of that, and that reality may not become, what you see in the future may not become reality because you've changed the course, because everything happens in a sequence, right? Everything ends up being related back to that point, to the future point, from the way you are to the future point. And there's a whole sequence of events that happens. You change one little thing in there, it might go on a totally different course. You might end up in a totally different place, doing something entirely different. So if I knew, I know from me personally, if I knew what was going to happen in the future, I would take any way that I can to get there quicker. Do you know what I mean? Or I would do anything to move towards there. I wouldn't let naturally it take its course. Yeah. So I know I would stuff that up for myself. So I'd rather go back.
And so Kynan said you go forward to win, like, for example, for financial reasons. Why would you go back?
Oh, I'd go back to fix my... I think, okay, when I say fix my mistakes, I don't mean, like, fix my mistakes in terms of, like... Because my mistakes make you who you are. Do you know what I mean? We talked about in the previous podcast. But I think it's mistakes I would make towards other people. That's what I would fix. And not make those mistakes.
That would change your current reality, so the present.
Maybe
and you might not be here. You might be in a place that you would no longer... or you might not prefer compared to where you were originally, or where you are now originally.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I would only make little minor changes. And by minor changes, I mean, like, at communication. So, like, for example, like, I swore at one day, Remy, at school, right? I wouldn't do that again. But I know, I'm saying like...
just
I'm
for
saying
example.
like, hypothetically, right?
Okay.
So let's say like that made Raimi angry, right? But that doesn't change our friendship. Our friendship would still be where it is today.
There's still the whole domino reaction. We don't know how that can affect things like... The one time that you held your breath for 4 seconds when you were 12 years old could have changed where you are now compared to if you didn't do
That'd
that.
Be kind of
you know what I mean?
That. What about you, Tyrell? So you said you had already answered. Do you want to change your answer? Or are you happy with what he said?
No, I'll still go back actually because I'll go back.
Okay. I think personally.
Hell of a lot on Facebook and.
You what?
Bet hell of a load on like Google.
Good stuff. I reckon I'd go back too, but as these three know.
I found the article by the way. Sorry guys. Motorola was the company that was that was the guy who invented Motorola, and that whole corporation got the idea from Captain Kirk in Star Trek
with the mobile phones. Okay.
So
there you go.
Sorry.
No, I was gonna say I go back to, but as these three now, I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist. So I tried to debunk as many theories as I can. I wouldn't change anything. See, that's the difference between all these three. I wouldn't change anything, but I'd go for the knowledge. That's what I do.
The thing is, I'm not changing anything either. I'm not going forward
True,
to change.
Well, you're going to
anything.
change your current to future. I'm not going to change nothing.
But I probably wouldn't do it though.
What are you going to do with the knowledge?
Not for my personal side. Call me selfish.
So you're just going to be walking like,
I know
you are going to get this.
That's it. Sit back and just, chill. Alrighty, guys. That was interesting.
Well, hopefully the listeners found it interesting. We went left field, right field, took a dark corner.
I think we'll have to add to this in the future.
We will.
What were we going to talk about after?
We'll definitely have, I think, might go down one way with philosophy
I'm
and
interested
ethics
about
and stuff.
the conspiracy part. Let's have a look at that sometime. Honestly, I'm
that's
really
Ray
keen.
Dog's.
That's like 2 or 3 parts easy.
Yeah. I was going to say 2 or 3 years.
Probably, but I think
the government's out to get us, man.
Seriously.
Tinfoil hats, man.
We could end up like this, guys. Just be careful, you know what I mean? But anyway, let us know what you guys
My name's
think.
Michael, it's not Tyrone.
Smith.
Is it really Michael though? Ooh. But anyway, let us know in the comments, and give us an idea and give us feedback on what you think. Is technology a threat? We've kind of covered both sides a little bit. I guess to quickly sum up what we've talked about, I think, there's a lot of aspects that it is, but if we can control it to an extent, is it controllable? We don't know, but if you can, it won't be so bad. There are a lot of advantages to it, but if we let it get out of control, then, going back to the laws, we're saying if we're able to control it, then maybe good, but if we can't, I don't know, who knows? So, I don't know, but that's it for today. Stay tuned and we'll bring another one soon. Everyone have a good day, have a good night, and enjoy the rest of your week.
All right, catch us all later, and we're out.